Now that we've got the most basic piece of code working, we're going to extend it to make it do a couple more things. So we know that we've already got something that happens when we press the A button. Now we're going to put some code to do something when the B button is pressed, and some other code so that it does something different when you press the A and B buttons at the same time. So first, we're going to add on button B pressed. So you have to go back and get the same as before, the on button A pressed, drag it down here. And where it says A, we're just going to click the drop down and change that to B. Now, another way that you can make the same piece of code come out again is to hover over the code, right click and go to duplicate. There we go, and now we have another on button B pressed. We need to change this to say on button A and B. Now for on button B pressed, we're going to learn one of the other fun things that the Microbit can do, and that's to give you different smiley faces, different pictures, different icons. So an icon is just a small picture. So we're going to click on basic and then show icon and drag this onto on button B pressed. Now I want you to click the drop down where there's a picture of a heart, and these are all the images that you can choose from. So I'm going to choose the smiley face, but feel free to select a different one. And now when we press button B, it's going to show the smiley face. And we can check that that works on our simulator. So press button B, and we get a smiley face. If you press button A, we still get our hello world coming up. And if you press button B, when it's finished hello world, it will then show up your smiley face again. And you notice we've now got a new option here that's A plus B. That is so that you can press A and B together, and that will give you some different code. So let's go and write that. So what we're going to do on button A and B together pressed is we're going to count down 3, 2, 1, and then have an arrow to say go. So we've done showing text, so showing writing, and we've done showing a picture. Now we're going to do numbers. So if you go to basic, you can click on show number, drag that down here. Now we need that 3 times, so we're going to right click, duplicate, right click and duplicate again. And now we need to drag these so that they click underneath the first show number. And we're going to change this to say 3, and this one to say 2, this one to say 1. And now after the 1, we want it to wait a couple of seconds, or maybe wait half a second, before it shows an arrow. So we're going to put what's called a pause. So go to basic, come down here, and go to pause. A pause is just waiting. So we're going to drag this over. Now this number here is in milliseconds. So if you wanted to wait for 1 whole second, you would put 1000 milliseconds. We want to wait for half a second, so we're going to put 500 milliseconds. And now we're going to put a picture. So I'm just going to rearrange these a bit to give me a bit more space. We want a picture of an arrow pointing to the right, which we don't have. You can check, we don't have a right arrow in our basic icons. So instead, we're going to go to basic and show LEDs, so we can make our own picture to show on the Microbit screen. So now we drag that down underneath pause. Now we want to make an arrow, so we're just going to turn these LEDs on. You can make it into any picture you want. This is just to show you how you can control all the LEDs yourself. You don't have to stick to the pictures like we have up here. So now that we've got that, let's test that in our simulator. So we go to the simulator and we press this A plus B button. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Now you can play around with this pause, and if you want to, you can add a pause between each number to make it wait longer, so you can make it as a proper second countdown. So if we duplicate it, and then we have to drag this up, put it after the number. We're going to make that a whole second this time. So we want 1000 milliseconds. That's 1 second. I'm going to duplicate it again to put between 2 and 1. There we go. And now on the simulator, we want to press reset. That's this button here to make sure that we've got the current lot of code. So we press restart. Now if we press A plus B, you'll see that there's a big pause between each of the numbers. So it properly counts down 3, 2, 1, and then you get to your arrow. And there you go. If you'd like to test this out a bit further, you can do all sorts of things. Try putting in different strings, try adding a string followed by a pause, followed by a picture, or you could even try going from one picture, pause, wait a bit, and then to another picture. You could try smiley face, happy face, then angry face, sad face. Just play around with it and see how you get on. Well done.